Buckley.
Here.
Here.
Here. Bless you.
Quorum is present.
Okay, if you want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Commissioner.
Excuse me. Dear Lord, please be with us today. Be with all of us and watch over us. Forgive us for our sins, dear Lord. Dear Lord, help us to do the best that we can do for the county. Make the best decisions going forward, dear Lord. Dear Lord, just be with those. There's a lot of us here at the annex, especially, and without the courthouse, have a lot of people that need you and your guidance, dear Lord. Please watch over them, help them safely come home, and just be with their family, dear Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Okay, the consent agenda was posted on the board. We've reviewed it. It's been out the thing. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that. Any questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're gonna go to the general business, and Kendra, she's got the quarter report for the Missouri Extension today, so you got the floor, Kendra.
All right. I think you guys have a copy. I have extras if anybody wants it. It's rather thick today, so I'm not going to read it all. I promise. At the top of this lists kind of our 4-H numbers, and that's what I'm going to start with today. Janet Braun and Casey Amston are our 4-H youth specialist and YPA youth program associate. We had 152 youth enrolled in 7 traditional 4-H clubs for the year. Our year ended September 30th. New year started October 1st, so if you're interested, please contact Janet or Casey for any new enrollments. We also had about 350 youth participate in our non-traditional 4-H clubs, and that's kind of our short-term programs. They have 6 hours of instruction in a specific topic. So that could be related to gardening or some of our STEM resources and so forth. One program I did want to highlight with 4-H, they had a Bismarck Lunch Club. And so what they did is they had 16 youth during the summer come in over lunch and taught them to cook a meal. And then they also had food donated. Those kids were able to go shopping and be able to take home food to cook a meal for their families. And so we were able to serve over 100 meals through that program to those youth. And that's not counting the meals that they took and went home and cooked. And that was also over 2,500 pounds of food that were donated, along with $500 in cooking tools. And so that was a really great program, kind of not only put the tools in the kids' hands, but also let them take food home to their families. Kind of along those same lines is the 4-H did a public service program where they created what they called a blessings box. This blessings box contains food and other hygiene items available to anybody who needs it. It's over at the Owl Creek feed store over next to the West County schools. And we've had a council member, Keith Schwaggart, and his son put that up for us. And we have already had to refill it. It was full, and it's been up 2 weeks, I believe, and we've already had to refill it. And so there is a need over there. If you do have any extra food and want to maybe head that way, and you're welcome to stop and put some things into that blessing box if you like. On my aspect of it, for the kind of the administration portion of Extension, we are always recruiting council members. Our election will be in January, and so if you know of anybody who wants to serve on the Extension Council, please send them to us. We try to finalize our ballot in November to be able to be published in December, and then again, election is in January. So they serve 2-year terms, and we love a huge, diverse group with all aspects of experience trying to help guide our extension programs in the county. So if you know of anybody interested, please send them my way. Mike Graham is our livestock specialist. He's been pretty busy since starting July 1. He had over 81 in-person producer visits since that time, and a lot of people have found out he's here and call into the office. He also works pretty heavily with the Show Me Select Heifer program, and on our upcoming events, that sale is coming up in December. So we do have heifers enrolled in that. One of the things that I did want to mention, he did kind of go back to what he did before, was an ag instructor. He went down to the Fredericktown Animal Science class and taught their grasslands competition class, and they did place 3rd in their area here recently, so he was kind of proud of that. Katie Candler is our horticulture specialist, and she has taught a couple garden clubs here in St. Francis County on perennial plants up in Bonne Terre, and then horticulture in the Netherlands. She was able to go to the Netherlands and do a tour there for a couple weeks, and brought that information back and talked to the Parkland Master Gardeners. And if you look at her list of inquiries, it's amazing the kind of questions she gets and the huge range of questions. So it's really interesting to see that list. Alyssa Boyer is our nutrition program associate. In the summertime, she's a little bit slower, goes to a lot of food pantries, just simply because the kids are not in school. But she did some summer school classes, and then partnered excuse me, with Casey Amston to do community garden, and then she was one of the instructors for the lunch club over in Bismarck. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was a couple of upcoming events that we have. We do have some programs coming up. The East Central Cattlemen's Picnic will be November 9th over at Valley of Caledonia, where they're going to tour the farm school over there. If you're interested in having a really nice ribeye steak meal, please call the office and sign up for that. Mike is also teaching shielded metal arc welding down at the Fredericktown Agriculture Building. That'll be November 12th and the 14th. It's a 2-day session, so if you're wanting to learn how to stick weld, it's going to be a beginner's class. It's kind of becoming a lost art, I think, so he is teaching that. And then the Show Me Select sale is December 13th at 7 o'clock out here at the Farmington Regional Stockyards. The last thing I wanted to say, and she's going to kill me, Jane Epstein has a birthday today. So if you head downstairs and out the door, just swing by the extension office and wish her a happy birthday.
Awesome.
She's going to kill me.
Thank you, Kendra. But I wanted to ask you one question. All your programs,
Yep.
I know that you said people donate. You get a lot of donations. Do you have to come up with money yourself, or do you get a
We
lot?
do. A lot of our programs we have to charge for, just to kind of either reimburse travel for the person teaching it or supplies. And so both the Cattlemen's Picnic or whatever, they do have charge for the meal, but the arc welding class, I think they're charging $40 or $50 for that, just to pay for the supplies and the travel. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Kendra. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Corey, this was on the SERF contribution next on the agenda. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So it's something that you guys approve every year if you want to change the way the county does their contributions. But prior to 2002, the county paid it. And then everybody that was hired after that, the employee pays their portion. And so you guys have the option to change it. As far as I know, it hasn't been changed since then.
Okay.
So everybody before that time they're paid for, right? If
Yeah,
they're
they were
still-
grandfathered in.
they're
This is
grandfathered
for
in. Yeah.
new hires then, basically.
And, yep, anybody hired after that date in 2002.
Okay. So really,
We
have
we need a
motion.
motion to continue. Yeah,
Rich.
Does that stand for County Employee Retirement Fund?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Well, I'll make a motion, we keep it the same as the 4% annually towards their SERF.
I'll second that. Does anybody got any questions on that? Hey, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on. The road and bridge, this is a change order for out at Feezer, and it's for $11,305. And what that is when we built the bridge, there was a little bit of a distance in really the road height, and we had to add rock and a little change, and that's what this is for. But I don't know if anybody's drove out by there, but this is finishing up now. I was just gonna, that's what I was gonna explain to you, why this change order was made. It was for rock on the bridge. The approach on the bridge, they have to be right, and that's why this was made, so the approach on the bridge wasn't so negative. The humps would be out of there. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the change order for Feezer Road at $11,305 to be paid out of the road and bridge fund.
Okay, I'll second that. Has anybody got any questions on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're moving on here. Road and bridge, this is an additional amount for the Cedar Run Bridge at $21,310.82. And it brings the bridge total up to $321,310.82. This was an in-house project. This was a great job. Those guys did a good job. If we would have had to bid this out, we saved quite a bit of money here. And Dave, did you want to explain what that?
Just the amount that they ran over was some overages that they had to add to the bridge itself, but we saved over $600,000 doing this job in-house, so I can kind of go with the $21,000 for the extras that they saw that they needed on this bridge. So I make a motion that we approve the $21,310.82 for the Cedar Run Bridge, and it will be paid out of the interest from the ARPA.
What was the amount again, David?
$21,310.82.
Okay, so where is the 300?
The bridge,
Is that the total?
that's the total, and after this overage is paid, I just wanted to let everybody know what this bridge was gonna total. So I put the whole amount up there. I didn't mean to confuse anybody, but I know sometimes we put numbers up there and it's like, where'd you get that one? But
I'm gonna second that, and then I will say this, when they were building that bridge, I don't know if you remember, that's when we had them torrential rains up there. And it changed the way, when they had the beams coming in, they had it all planned out, and when that rain come in, they had to bring the trucks actually down into the creek and set the crane. It completely, there in a shorter period of time, they had to change the way they set the beams, and it was pretty difficult, but they managed to get it done, so. Those guys did a great job. Rich?
Kerry, were there ever any contractor estimates on this work?
You know what, Rich? I think we, I think Smith and Company didn't, they did do the the engineering work and for the bridge. And then the water levels, I know we raised it, I think we raised it 4 feet,
Yeah,
the bridge.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
water still possibly could come over the bridge, but it won't hit the bridge. It'll come, on that part, it'd be east or west of it to try to flow around. So, yeah, there was engineering on it, and we just went by their specs.
and I will bring up, they had, what was it? Right when we got the beam set and not bolted down, we had about a 5-inch rain, I think is.
Yeah.
That would have been over that bridge before, and it was right underneath, and I still had pictures of that with the video, if you guys want to see it, that's impressive to watch. And it held its own for a 5-inch rain, so that wasn't too bad.
Well, and then the other holdup on was the guardrails. We had they got in a little, somebody at the plant, something happened where they were building the guardrails, and I think an employee, there was an illness in the family, so that held the end of it up about 2 weeks, which the school buses out there still had to go around, but once they got it done, everything worked out there.
Okay.
And go out and drive that bridge. They did a great job on it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're gonna move on here. HR Corey, this is hiring for an audit specialist in the auditor's office, and Corey's gonna talk about this.
Yeah, we're not gonna hire anybody else. Since you guys moved the grant coordinator position from the auditor's office to commission, they just want to change the current employee from a deputy clerk to an audit specialist, because when Bridget left, she did leave some duties that are gonna stay in that office. So they're gonna combine those with what she does already, and that's why we wanna change that.
I make a motion that we, from the auditor's office, put Dawn Wernicke, I hope she'll be mad at me if I get that wrong, we've known her a long time, to an audit specialist, $16.11 per hour, effective 10/19/24.
And I'll second that. Does anybody have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Corey. Okay, moving on. This is an appointment for a public housing agency. They've got 6 appointment. This was to appoint Amanda Zillikin to the Board of Commissioners for St. Francis County. And then this was actually, the head of that would be Travis Rash at East Missouri. And I think I don't know if they'd lost some. I hadn't got to talk to him, but he sent us a letter and he wanted her appointed to the housing program. So,
And I'll make that in a motion to appoint Amanda Zillikin to the, and there's spelling on here if you need it, to the Board of the Commissioner for the County Public Housing Agency.
I'm gonna second that. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Owl Creek, Mike's got some. This would be, Mike, this is on the,
I didn't put a price on it, Mike.
yeah, we didn't put any prices. Do we need them on there?
No, no,
We did it out.
because we're going to request, we're gonna solicit bids.
Okay, good.
We have a 1,000 foot, roughly 1,000 foot of security fence that's going to go along where our playground is. And the privacy fence will be around 6 foot tall or so. And it's kind of to keep both the kids that are on the playground contained, but also anyone that would be driving by outside of the park, kind of keep the eyes out of the playground area. And also a neighbor there has, right across the border, has some trash built up over the years that we're putting the fence in to make sure none of that encroaches.
Mike, this will be on front approach on the road too. When you're actually pulling to go down to turn into the park, this fence will actually, and it'll have louvers in it on it screened in where you can't see in, and then it runs down along the side of a road for the neighbor.
It does.
Where it actually it'd be like any park you go to if they want to conceal something off. This is probably a pretty good idea over there. Plus there'll be possibly a parking lot in the future. I mean, it's designed in
And
their
the playground.
playgrounds, and that way you can pull in there and the kids can play, and it'll actually hide the area from it. So
I make a motion to give permission to bid a 1,000-foot fence, 6-foot tall security fence for the Owl Creek.
I'll second that. We have any questions? Hey, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Mike. Well, Mike, you might as well stand up.
Another couple
Yeah.
This is the first one, right? No.
Okay, this is the first one?
Yeah, this is the first one.
Okay, this is the change order.
This first one comes about because the engineers have drawn to excavate some rock along the trail and then put the same type of rock right back on it. So we told them we would rather just not pay for that and keep the rock that we have there. And also they had it drawn for 4 inches of sub base and 6 inches of asphalt. And thanks to John and Clay, pointed out that was way over what we needed. So we upped to a 6-inch base which would make for a better solid trail, and then 4 inches of asphalt. So those two gave us a $22,485 3/6 credit.
Okay.
Mike, was this over the dam?
It was.
That was just the dam part then?
The dam and the 2 inches of asphalt.
Okay.
Minus the addition of 2 inches of sub-base.
Okay, well, they're gonna get a chance here, we'll be opening up for long, and if they keep this, what we're talking about, in reminder, when you walk over the dam, it'll give you a lot better idea. I know, Dan's been out there, it'll give you an idea what we're talking about. There's already a big pile of rock there. We didn't need to take it out and put it back in. So, they just basically went over the top of it, and I think, Mike, in the future, the dam will be covered up. That's the first thing, the girls from up in Jeff City come down and said, this is ugly. So they gave us kind of permission, what we need to do is cover it, so.
We backfilled it
Yeah.
on not the younger side, but the other side. We backfilled all of that with dirt
Yeah.
last week whenever I had the road and bridge guys out there helping
Yeah.
us.
So when you go over there and walk the trails, it'll give you a really good idea, picture in your mind what we're talking about here. I wish I had a picture of it up, but I don't, but, it would pretty well cover what we're talking about. This is, really a pretty good savings right here. Yeah.
So, and you'll see on the next slide of how we put those savings to good use.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept the, actually change order, but credit of $22,485.03 for the Owl Creek.
I'm gonna second that. Any questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Since
This-
we,
Go ahead, Mike.
since we had that credit of 22,000 and 50% of that was a grant match anyway, we really hated to lose it. And we were really needing a nice parking area. We had this nice ADA asphalt trail, but just a gravel parking lot and a gravel ramp leading up to the trail, which would make it pretty difficult for someone, you know, to get out on the gravel and get onto the trail. So we went ahead and used that money to spend, or to pay for 3 ADA accessible handicap spots and an asphalt ramp leading onto the trail. And then also an asphalt protection apron or pad on both sides of the road, both sides of the trail where where it crosses the road at. And then also we had to add an extra culvert, an extra concrete culvert, because there was a ditch that had got overlooked.
And this, right now, this, like I say, we gotta prove it, but then again, when you're out there, when it opens again, you'll understand why we're doing this. You know, if you wanna get on the trail in your wheelchair or whatever, you know, it's kinda hard to go across the gravel, so they'll be able to park, get out onto the asphalt, and go right to the trail.
As Mike said, we've got all these ADA compliant trails and had to get you to the trail, so, in the wheelchair or whatever else, so this makes it a lot easier. Thank you, Mike, for seeing that. I make a motion that we, pay the, change order number 2 for $21,674.23 for the Owl Creek.
All in favor? Or I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and here's the third change order, Mike.
And this third change order just illustrates the remaining $1,952.59 between the first two that we will be under budget or under projected.
This is like a savings.
A
this-
savings of, yeah.
We wish all of them was like
Yeah,
this.
and, well, I would have liked to have ran it down a little further,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to keep a little buffer in there because I really didn't want to go over first phase.
Awesome.
Yeah, this actually worked out pretty good. You don't normally see this, but after they were all said and done, that's actually what we saved at the end.
So we'll hit the budget within like 0.5%.
Nice. Well, I make a motion to accept the number 3 savings change order to $1,952.59 for Owl Creek.
I'll second that. Any questions?
I have a question on that. Is
Sure.
there any cost that would be associated with maybe advertising or putting notification that this ADA trail is available.
What
in
was
some sort
the
of,
first part of your question?
in either advertising or putting, notification in
Mhm.
some sort of, I don't know, entity that has a list of this. I don't know if the ADA website has, is there any cost associated with this?
There may
that-
be, we can look into, an ADA organizations and see if we can put something in.
I think
I
you
would
might be
imagine.
referring to like a legal notice.
A legal notice, but also
Yeah.
just advertising that we have it
Yeah.
available.
That would be a great idea.
That
Yeah, they can come over
County
there.
Park is ADA.
Park on the new asphalt and get out and go. Yeah. That was good,
Yeah.
Kendra. Okay.
All right.
I have a motion?
We got the motion, you got the second?
You already, I got the second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Uh-oh, Nick. Oh,
Oh, that's
we're
probably.
back.
That could be my fault. Okay.
Okay, and this is the auditor for a grant oversight policy for Amber. But when I was looking at this, I got your request and I was looking at maybe we just, we're not gonna take it under advisement and we'll talk in there before we bring this up. If you don't mind. Okay. Okay, moving on. Public administrator, Corey, this is
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it
HR's
was popping, I'm sorry.
duty here today. Yeah.
So, Vesta will be taking office in January, so we would like to ask permission to go ahead and hire a new person that will fill her spot. So we'll only have an extra person for just a couple of months. That way they could get trained and hit the ground running whenever Vesta takes office.
Now, we'll put that out for application. Will we have to set that, what they get paid before that? Will you come back with us on that, or would you have?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
whenever we have
A
an
person.
individual and a start
Okay.
date. And it will be, we changed this a couple weeks ago, deputy public administrator, they're graded at 4, so there's a range in there.
Okay, awesome.
Best of this, will this give you time to maybe train somebody to know all that 30 years of knowledge you
It will,
have?
no.
You're-
It will help transition things though.
But you'll be there to help, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's great. You're there to help.
I really think this is probably a really good idea, Besta.
So-
I think that office.
And so we plan to hire soon, and Gary will have to sign the appointment order, and I believe he's already agreed to do so.
Yeah.
So.
So we'll just give permission to take applications, or
Okay.
just hire, okay.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to, take applications for a new hire for public administrator to replace, Vesta when, she, takes her new duties, and that's for the public administrator office.
I'll second that. Do we have any questions? Anybody have any questions on it? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's a couple of loose lines in there. Well, you'll get your other signs.
Oh,
after
keep
that.
going?
No, it's the next regular meeting.
Alright. Yeah, the next regular meeting will be next Tuesday on October 22nd at 10 a.m. Okay, other business, any correspondence? Public comments? Rich?
Is there a soft opening of Owl Creek Park this week?
It will not be this week likely. It will be as soon as the operators get their equipment out of there. And as of this morning, they still have their equipment in there. And we have a couple of snafus that we found this morning that's gonna delay us another couple days. I hope the first part of next week, but I can't make a promise. Yes, soft opening will be as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Public comment?
Any public comments? Department reports?
You wanna speak
Okay.
for Kevin today?
Here's what we just talked about, Rich. That's the grant, I mean, really the grand opening, but Mike, you're gonna open it up before that where people have time to, they'll be able to walk through it and,
My hopes is to get it open for a soft opening beforehand to take a little pressure off the grand opening day and time.
we're probably expecting a pretty good crowd on grand opening day, so if you really like to go out there and walk it where it's not so crowded, it might be really good to go before the grand opening. Now, we want you there grand opening, but,
Or after. I mean, this
Yeah.
isn't the only
Yeah.
day that it's open. My goal is to never have to close the park
Yeah.
again outside of hours. So once we're done with this, our planning into the future, we can work around having the park open at all times.
Thank
Well,
goodness.
at all times, daylight to dark.
My phone on the weekends, my wife said, who you got? Who you calling you?
I know we changed the name from Bone Hole to Owl Creek, which sounds really great and nice, but as a marketing standpoint, is there any way to change the name of that road?
The road is Owl Creek now.
It
Oh, it's not
definitely-
Landfill Road?
No, it's, that is, did they put up sign? Cause we went through 911 to get that changed.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also thought about the whole road coming in, but that would.
That's what he's referring to as the road coming
Oh,
in.
Landfill Road, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, and I'm sorry about that, Jay. The road where it takes off and goes into the Owl Creek is Owl Creek now, but, landfill, yeah, there's some cost involved in that, and there's some people that were hesitant when I kinda did some door to door. I have to change my address again, and I don't know.
Yeah, the 911, they had to go through there again,
Yeah.
there was a little bit of complications.
We're working on that, Jay, but thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. No, you're right.
Okay.
What's it? Oh,
And
man.
we hate to say it, but we've lost a commandeer of Owl Creek yesterday at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's something everybody'd been looking at over there, and we lost him yesterday morning to a car. He got hit on Highway 8, coming right out of Owl Creek. And
So-
everybody working over there have been noticing that was a 21-point buck.
Our big attraction has.
Yeah, the attraction,
since
everybody
left.
working there. So, Mike lost one of his comrades out yesterday.
Take them home for dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody got a good head.
Actually, I think there was a pretty good argument over there was some people stopped, and there was a pretty good battle over who was gonna take him home, and I'm not gonna, I don't know what happened, but, he left.
Well, I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.